to Shepherd's Knitting School, and in this segment we're going to finish up our project. And so this will hopefully be your first project, and I hope you've enjoyed the process so far. So right now I thought I would, it's a nice morning to knit in the kitchen garden, so that's where we are. I'll tell you real quick about the garden. It's we do a mixture. We have some foundation planting, but we have put in a mixture of herbs, and right now we've got greens, mustard greens. We just finished up. In fact, I'm going to pull those out and I'll plant some tomatoes there. We've got lettuce, baby lettuces, and arugula, a little bit of oh gosh, what else do we have? We're trying to do cabbage. We have yet to be successful with cabbage, but we've got some cabbage. We've got some radishes, that's what I was trying to think of. So I'm actually able to harvest a little salad each afternoon for my lunch along with my sandwich. And so it's a nice spot to knit. I like to sit here. Oftentimes I do. I have a view of the pond, which is out over here. And so anyway, welcome back to Sweet Tree Hill Farm. So here's what we should have at the moment. A length of knitting, and I would say this is not quite 2 feet. I'd say 1.75 feet of simple garter stitch. I started casting on 30 stitches. We learned how to cast on, and we learned how to do the knit stitch, and you just simply do row after row of the knit stitch, and this is where you should be. And then so what I'm going to show you is we're going to cast off, and then we're going to make what's called a Mobius, and we're going to take the ends and we're going to twist and then sew them together. So what we want to do, as you can see, we've got a tail on one end right here, okay, and we've got a tail. The working yarn is right here on the opposite side. So you've got the tail on this side and the working yarn on this side. That's where you want to end. You want to make sure you have enough yarn left, and I usually, rule of thumb would be the length of your knitting times 3 or 4, and then you should have enough yarn to bind off. So stay with me. I'll get to that section. I'll show you how to bind off. And so you'll need not only your knitting needles and your yarn, but you'll also need a, you can see that's a little tapestry needle, okay? All right, let's get to it. I'm trying to get my yarn organized here. All right, so now we start just like we're knitting. In fact, the first thing you do is that you're going to knit 2 stitches. So again, remember, I'm sure you know this by now, go into the left side of that loop underneath. You're going to wrap around that needle, hold it, your working yarn in place, and pull that loop through. So we're going to knit 2 stitches. Now here's the trick. This begins the bind off, or cast off, sometimes it's called, depending on what country you're from. Again, take that working yarn, hold it against the needle so it kind of gives you some tension. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take that second stitch on the needle and you're going to lift up, over, and off the needle, leaving that second stitch on there. What this does, when you hold this tension, this prevents this stitch from sliding off. Okay, so now we need to get a second stitch onto the right needle. So we're going to go in and do another knit stitch, loop around, pull that loop through. We've got our 2 stitches again. Hold taut your working yarn. You're going to go underneath that second stitch, lift up and over the first stitch and off. Watch again. You're going to knit, lift up and over and off, knit, up and over and off. See, I'm preventing this from falling off, that second stitch from falling off, or first stitch, I guess. However you want to look at it. All right, so I'm gonna, as you can see, This creates a nice little braided area here for the end of your scarf. All right, so we'll continue binding off. So again, you could have cast it on 20 stitches or 30 stitches, however thick you wanted your scarf. And by the way, as far as the length, you could go longer. I've gone a little shorter. Probably that's about as short as you want to go, which I said like 1.5 feet, or 2 feet is good. Reason being is what I'll end up with is something that just goes along my neck, like underneath the jacket, which is what I want really when I'm working outside. That's kind of what I need. But you could have something that goes longer, that goes oops, you know what, I've lost my place here. Here we go, bind off. You could choose something longer and have something go down your torso, like on the inside of a blazer or a vest or something like that. So the choice is yours. That's the thing about knitting your own clothing. You're the designer. Even though you might be following somebody else's pattern, who's to say you can't switch it up to suit your needs, right? So that's what we're that's one of the wonderful things about knitting. It frees you up to create your own wardrobe however you want, however suits you. What your coloring is, choose your color. And then also too, you have this makes a nice little gift for somebody who works outside a lot or is outside a lot. They aren't working outside. Maybe they're hiking. They like to hike or bike or jog even. Okay, so now we've got that just about done. There we go. All right, so what we want to do is we've got a little bit of yarn left. I think I'm just going to leave this length, but you could cut off so you have maybe about 10 inches, 12 inches left. But I'm just going to leave it as is. So the last stitch, what we want to do is take that needle, kind of enlarge that loop. See, we've got a large loop there. And then you're going to take that. Oh, we've got some birds fighting over there. Okay, well, they're trying to they're trying to decide who lives where, and sometimes they're neighborhood squabbles. Oops, I went the wrong way. Excuse me about that. All right, so now we're going to come through, going towards, you want to bring the, let me start again. You want to bring that end from the ending part here on the left, and you want to go towards the right. And pull your yarn through, and then you want to cinch it up. All right, so then, and if you just like to have a long scarf, then you're done. But we're going to do a Mobius. So what we want to do is now we have the yarn, the two ends on the same side, which is good, and there's a reason for that. So now we have it, and then we're going to twist. All right, and then we're going to bring the two sides together, and we're going to sew them up. So you've got yarn at the top here, and then you've got yarn at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our tapestry needle. I hope you can see this because I can't see what you're seeing at the moment. I'll check the video afterwards. Videoing is sort of new to me, so I do apologize. Okay, so what we're going to do, so you've got the bind off end with the cast off end, and we've made a twist. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put your needle, here's the one where the yarn is attached. You're going to go into the other end right here, and you're going to put that tapestry needle through kind of 2 bars right there. All right, and that kind of gets you started. And I usually come back and sort of come back along that top edge to kind of secure that top edge up nicely. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. All right, and then from here on, then you're just going to grab, there's different ways you can sew this up. This might be considered a blanket, mattress stitch, but you can just come across right here, and you grab 2 bars on each end, and there you go. Then you kind of grab another bar here, and then another 2 bars there. So you're grabbing the 2 right on that very end right there. Can you see that right there? And you just keep going back and forth, and you're going to, I usually go from the bottom up. And you're going to work your way down. See, there's the 2 right there. And then here we go to the 2 right here. And you do that all the way down to the middle. And then on the other side, you're going to do, you have another length of yarn from your cast on, and you're going to work your way back up and meet in the middle, and then you're going to weave in your ends. All right, as you can see, we've completed our sewing up. So you can see right here, and then we just basically weave in the ends. One yarn goes under, over, under, over. You want to try to make sure the stretchiness is still good. All right, and then we just snip. And by the way, this looks as good on, this will be on the inside, but you could probably see, there you go. All right. Here's your scarf or Mobius. As you can see, it crosses in front, kind of lays better than if you had just put the ends as a tube. You could do that. That's, but I like it this way. So let me put it on for you. It's getting a little warm today, but it'll be really useful. See? When the weather gets really windy, I hate the wind on my neck. Anyway, so there you have it. There's your first project. Congratulations. And woohoo, do the happy dance. Next time, we're going to learn how to purl. And my thought is maybe we can do some fingerless gloves. Okay, so be thinking about that. And check back again for project number 2. I hope you have a great day. Bye from the farm.